Hey guys, Dr. Mike Dusa, MTFUcoach.com. How are you? Uh, I've been bitching a lot about my shoulders lately and how they've been hurting me. And I also have always boasted about how I've never been injured in the gym in 4+ decades. And I'm still going to hold myself to that in that I've never suffered a frank injury to any part of my body. I've never torn anything. I've never ruptured a tendon. I've never herniated a disc, dropped a plate on my toe, like right on the spot that day. However, no matter how pristine and correctly you perform your exercises for you, you're still subjecting your body to the derision and breakdown of overuse. It's like, you drive your car for a certain number of miles, the tires go bald and you can replace your tires. However, you start to lose cartilage and breakdown occurs in the body. A lot of these things you can't replace, so you suffer problems. So I can say this, the two worst injuries, in my opinion, that you can do for, in this case, talking about the shoulder, because I am suffering a good amount of shoulder pain these days, there are two exercises that I did prolifically earlier in my bodybuilding career for many, many years. And those would be, number one, the press behind the neck, and number two, the upright row with a straight bar. And still see people do the upright rows with the straight bar, but amazingly, I still do see people do press behind the neck with an Olympic bar. And I mean, I don't say anything, but and I also see people do pull downs, lat pull downs with a straight bar behind the neck. That's not quite as bad. It's a little bit of a reverse effect, but just discuss both of these for a second. I don't have a straight bar, Olympic bar up here, but if we're looking at the press behind the neck for the shoulder, okay, we're just going to have a little side view here. I'm going to take a dumbbell. Let's pretend I'm holding a barbell with both arms, and you're pressing this up. And whenever you do load the deltoid, like so, you are obviously affecting the deltoid and subjecting it to the forces of growth, which is what you want to do, okay? But this bar, it's behind my neck. It doesn't feel right because what you're doing is you're subjecting this joint to the closed pack position. If you were to hold your arms in a more natural position, okay, where the glenohumeral joint wants to stay, the plane would not be like so. The plane would be more of 30 degrees in front of your body, like this, okay, both arms, all right? And when you do that, okay, if you are doing like a front press, okay, or even a landmine with an Olympic bar, okay, like so, you're not creating that glenohumeral impact and impingement syndrome, which is something that occurs when the bursa, which is a sac inside of the joint, gets filled with too much fluid and it creates more pressure, and you're really kind of grinding everything together in there. That's a lot of pain, and ultimately you're going to cause damage. You affect the bicep tendon, the transverse humeral joint and groove and the ligament, and you get a lot of problems. You get degeneration, you get pain. I've got some of that going right now, so you really want to keep that joint open, keep your arms in front of you. None of that stuff behind the neck. It's just not good for you. Second one, now I don't have an Olympic bar here, so I'm going to demonstrate with Denise's walking stick. That's, because of her beauty, she uses this to beat off the mashers in the neighborhood. Where am I? I'm usually here on the computer. But if you look at an upright row, and I've done videos on this and I've talked about this, okay, it doesn't matter if your grip is here or your grip is out here or way out here, because I have people argue this. Well, my grip is this, my grip is that. I don't feel any pain. Well, if you're doing an upright row, like so, well, look what's happening. I'll show you in a moment. This is how it looks, okay? When I had my chiropractic clinic, we would do something, if a person came in and they said, hey, Foz, you gotta back up a little, buddy. If a person said, hey, I have shoulder pain, I'd have them put their arm out, just like this, and we do something called an impingement test. And I put a little pressure there, and they go, ow, damn, ow, I feel it right there. Well, yeah, because we're reproducing the ill effects of the incongruency of the movement of that exercise, which is not good for the joint. You're closing it up. And again, just like the press behind the neck, you're creating impingement syndrome right here, okay? That bursal sac inflames, You get increased fluid in there. You're grinding against the bicep tendon, some other structures. It's very painful. It's not comfortable. And like I've said, when you do an exercise, you should feel the stimulation in the muscle. If you feel it in the joint, or if you feel it in a different area of the body altogether, that exercise is not for you, or you're doing it wrong. Shouldn't be doing it in the first place. Find something else to do. A better way, as I've showed you in the past, for the up rows, to keep the joint fluid, I like dumbbells. Okay, you can keep them out in front of you, like so. You almost get like a little bit of a rocking going. Okay, and you're keeping the joint open. Okay, and again, overall, I don't see a lot of people doing up rows like back in the day. Maybe it's just been an evolutionary thing. I'm not sure. That's a good workout right there. But you know, I've got these shoulder problems now. I'm managing them. I'm dealing with them. I'm getting laser therapy. I'm getting percussive therapy. I'm getting chiropractic treatment. I'm getting soft tissue work done. I'm trying to sleep differently. I'm doing everything I can. And I certainly don't do press behind the neck. And I don't do straight bar up rows. And neither should you. That's all I got to say about that. Dr. Mike Dusa, MTFUcoach.com. And I'll talk to you again soon.